Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Rocket Monday, we're gonna talk about SpaceX Inspiration4 mission. So let's dive right into it. Now, what's the idea behind this? Well, idea is very simple. This is world's first, as in first in the planet, orbital space flight, meaning they're gonna actually do the orbit and they're gonna be only manned by private citizen, meaning there is no military involved, there is no government astronaut, there is no certification, no space agency involved, meaning if you have the money you can inherently in principle do this. Now that is a very big deal. Many times people may like, oh, only rich people can do that. Many times we do not understand how many rich people are there. Like you are talking about millions of millionaires. So in reality, if even those people can do that, that's a very big change, because before this we barely have 500 or 600 people. Now if this works out properly, we can have thousands of them, and that's a very good thing for humanity. And the vehicle itself is also made by a private company from SpaceX. Now you may be like, isn't NASA responsible for it? Yes and no. The design agreement, quote unquote, is like NASA will have some demands, whereas like, fulfill this demand and provide me, let's say, 4 rockets a year. You must fulfill that. After that, go YOLO. That's the whole point of it. They can do whatever they want to do with Falcon 9 system. It's completely SpaceX property. All they have to make sure is like, on paper terms, is like, if NASA has a requirement, we must fulfill it first. That's the whole point. If they, let's say, assume they only have 4 rockets, they cannot divert it. It's like, 4 per year is booked for that. So that must be the first priority. And again, we go into the legal documentation, is like ludicrously long, but you get the point. It's like NASA does not own Falcon 9. They are like, we helped build it, so we get first dips on it, quote unquote. So that's the idea behind it. Completely privately funded from start to finish, from rocket to actual astronauts. Everything is privately funded. Inspiration4. Now, which rocket they're gonna use? Obviously Falcon 9, and this puppy was launched in 16 September 2021 at around almost 00, as in like midnight UTC, Universal Time Zone. Now, Kennedy Space Center was the launch site, and Complex 39A. Now, if you know anything about space history, Complex 39A is one of the most popular or well used system, where it's like almost every good mission is done with there. So that's a really awesome. And the Crew Dragon that they were utilizing is Resilience. That's the name of the Crew Dragon capsule, Resilience. And this puppy was already used with Crew 1 mission, meaning it's a second time fly. So Crew, same way Falcon 9 boosters are reusable, the Crew capsules are also reusable. They are using it here, and they only made one core modification. Is like they removed the international docking adapter. They removed it. Now the idea behind this is very simple. This puppy is not gonna dock with anything, then why the heck carry it weight? And because the people in there are astronauts and they are quote unquote paid tourists, they want to get the view of it. Zero G does feel good, but you do need to look at something to truly grasp it in, quote unquote anchor yourself. You need to look at Earth to know, no, I'm above Earth. You will only find out if you can look at it. So for that reason, you have to have a giant windows. Cupola is already there in International Space Station, which is bigger than this puppy. However, it's not one continuous shell, so it has like one big unit, then multiple small units, so it has large frames. It does not give you clear view. This puppy, on the other hand, even though it's smaller, it has a larger continuous viewing surface area, meaning when you are looking out of it, you will forget that you're looking out from a window. It's like it will literally, like, that's why it like roses up on that. Now you may be like, okay, if this is a person inside the cupola shooting the photo, who is taking the photo of that person? Well, the nose cone has a camera. Now you may be like, why can't we see the live video of that? Well, if I'm not mistaken, basically Netflix has authority over that. Netflix is like paying a lot into it, so they are like all the footage goes to Netflix, and Netflix will decide what to show the world and what to show in their own documentary. That's why you do not see that. That's why only some low resolution photos are available of people utilizing the cupola. So this was done surprisingly quickly, as in like as quickly as 6 months. So that was really fast of SpaceX to do. Now, what about the mission? Well, mission inherently is not more of a scientific absolute mission. It's more of a human mission, so to say. So they want to carry 4 virtue signals from humanity. For example, that's why like there are 4 people, and each person represents one aspect of humanity. One of them is leadership, basically the crew commander, and then you have hope from this girl. Now the idea behind this is this girl has suffered very serious case of child cancer, and she survived and she thrived. That is a very critical aspect. Many times people see, oh, you survived something bad, traumatically illness and all that, and then you are alive after that, everything is awesome. No, many times people who have suffered through that, generally they end up with a decayed life, where they have a life but it's not worth living. So she is trying to show that, carry that hope. No, if you suffered something traumatic, something brutal, you can still have a life, and that life would be worth living. So that is why she is carrying hope. Then you have generosity, prosperity, all these like person, basically they are like if you ask people attached to these people, it's like, they will use that word. It's like, I talk to her, it's like hopeful. I talk to this guy, he's like leadership. I talk to this guy, he's very generous kind of person. He helps everybody who he can. Then you talk about this lady, it's like, I think it would be the fourth black lady in the planet, space. She has high prosperity. So all these things combined is like four core inspirational value. Four people, four core values that are going there. And the idea behind this is very simple. They want to do astronaut training to normal people, because you have to understand that training done for Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic, it's nothing compared to what these people have to do. These people actually have to climb to mountain, actually have to survive centrifuge. All that things combined is like, that's a real astronaut training, because they were actually trained in such a way that in case flight computer goes YOLO, they can still surface safely, basically deorbit the capsule and land properly. So they were not like, just tourists. They were like almost trained to astronaut degree, to an actual real world scenario where they're like, they can't do docking. Of course, they do not have that kind of intelligence, but they can do proper, safe deorbiting burn. So they were trained. So that was another aspect. How quickly can you train quote unquote normal people to this degree of capability where they're like, no, I can trust this person with capsule, so to say. And 3-day high radiation environment would be also tested, because this puppy is higher than ISS and even Hubble Space Telescope. This has higher radiation because it's much closer to Van Allen radiation belt. We only have 2 data points. One is ISS, another is Apollo mission, which is on the moon. So we do not know what happens, like what is the gradient of radiation. So this pup will help that. Now again, be mindful, that's not a very crucial data point. It's more of a like, we are going there, might as well study it. And core of all things combined, money wise, is a charity event for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, because this hospital is one of the best when it comes to child cancer survival rate. Meaning, not only if your children has a cancer, you can go here, they will take care of it in such a way that there is a very good chance you may actually walk out of it. Cancer is no longer a disease where it's like, cancer equals death. They can almost fight it back. So that's why this hospital is getting such a serious amount, and they've been working on it for like years, decades. Like, she actually survived from the same hospital. So that's why, like, this is one of those things where it's like, things line up properly. Now let's talk about the PR, basically public relation department of it. This is amazing as usual, because SpaceX does know how to do that part done. So that part, awesome, everything is awesome. Now there is a whole dedicated website. The moment you type inspiration4.com, you will end up into their own website where you can read about everything, every single data point. And there is a Netflix show. That's why I'm specifying that you are not getting live view directly from that. Netflix is getting that. Like, there is a downbeam. I'm pretty sure SpaceX is seeing that and Netflix is getting that. So they have the footage. It's just like, I do not know whether they will be like, yo, you want to see that footage, watch this documentary, countdown, or be like, you pirate it or something like that. I'm not sure how Netflix is gonna do, because I can see that, like, after a year or so, once these sort of missions become common, they're like, then they're gonna release the footage into normal common internet. But let's see what happens. So that's why you are not seeing as many footage as you could see, which was available with every time Crew Dragon was used with NASA, because NASA is open for public, so all the data was open. Here it's not the case. Basically Netflix is like, of course they are paying so much for it, they are like, yeah, we do want some exclusive right. That's the whole point of watching this documentary. And even if you remove that part, the behind the scenes are quite amazing, because astronaut training is one of those things that we do not know about. It's like, they are trained, but how exactly, you can see that here. So that's a really one of those things that I would say it's worth spending time on Netflix for that exact reason. And this photo is also awesome, which I will not explain why exactly is awesome. You have to look for it, because again, be mindful, many things have lined up way too perfectly for this. Like planning, executing, all that is done amazingly well in this puppy. Now, what we can expect in the future, you have to understand it. 2021 has been a big year for this specific system, because private space became a real space, meaning there are actual private people doing actual space missions, be it Virgin Galactic, Blue Origin, be it SpaceX. Now you may be like, oh, these two do not count. No, they do count, because be mindful, if you had given this capability to NASA in like, early before Apollo era or before Mercury, they're like, dude, this is god tier technology. Because be mindful, these things, basically the things that they have achieved, were the first qualification for actual real life astronauts. So what they are achieving is just yes, it has been achieved, but still a significant milestone. So they do count. They are serious, they do count, and it's slowly becoming routine. Be mindful, like this sort of thing were like a dream. In 2012 is gonna happen, 2015 is gonna happen, 2017 is gonna happen. Now it's actually happening, and we are looking at 3 missions back to back. That's mind-bogglingly fast. So slowly it's becoming routine. Now I can easily expect by the end of 2022 this sort of thing is like, normal routine. Oh, fifth mission has been done, or 15th mission. Like these two, I do expect them to go very frequently. I do expect SpaceX to do many more missions, but I do not expect them to do it very quickly. So I do see like 4 or 5 missions in the early years, after that. So what is the benefit of that? I specified in the beginning of the video, this is very good for us. What's the benefit? Well, benefit is that it increases interest in space, because you have to understand, most of us right now are in a state which you classify as burnt state, meaning all we think about is like how to get a job and how to pay taxes. We don't think about anything else. Now, a nation's health, basically its growth, is directly proportional to how inspirational people are. For example, America became the world power that it is today because of Apollo mission. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about it in very good detail. It's like, ask anybody who's working in NASA right now. They're like, why are you in NASA? They're like, Apollo mission. As simple as that. The moment you show the world what amazing things can be done, they are pulled towards it. Like, we have some mission. Right now, our generation does not have that luxury. We have nothing that is like, capturing our attention. We have 10,000 bad news on news channel, but we do not have any one amazing thing. It's like, I want to achieve that. So for this reason, having a space mission where it's like, whoa, this is something I can achieve, not something like, I watch in black and white movie, or like, very low grade, basically broadcast from moon. It's something real, something happening right now, and something normal people can achieve. It's really good. Now you may be like, oh, normal people don't have 100 million, 200 million. Yes, that's true. But there are more than enough millionaires. There are actually billions of millionaires, so to say. Now again, I'm a bit exaggerating, but you get the point. There are more than enough rich people in this planet. And once it starts to become routine, it will become cheap. So the more money goes into the system, the more R&D will be done, and that the better output we'll have. We'll have better GG output from that. For example, mobile phone. People used to say the same thing about mobile phones, but think of it this way. Even in India, we have almost 1 billion SIM connections. So reality is, private space races are now on. For example, China is now giving serious competition to USA, and USA is like, stepping up to stepping up their system, as SpaceX is basically carrying them. And same is happening on private space, because these three people, if they are working together, basically these three corporations, they can really change a country. The country that is slowly decaying to like, people actually being inspired to do something, not just like, oh, I want to be a celebrity. No, I want to be the engineer. I want to be the rocket ship pilot. Like, think of this way, like, what is most amazing to show, show a child? It's like, do you want to pilot a rocket ship? Mind blown. So for this reason, this is one of those things that are really helpful for humanity, not in a monetary way, not in like, oh, this much money spent, this much benefit gained, but in terms of sociological system, in terms of psychological structures. These are awesome if done correctly. So this was my presentation on Inspiration 4. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment, because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you are free, and as always, thanks for watching.